Hi, my dear friends. In this class, I would like to explain about the standard operating procedure for formulation trials that can be conducted in your R&D laboratory. This standard operating procedure is issued in order to guide our clients in properly converting SaitechLab formulations into validated laboratory trials, test reports, customer samples, pilot plant trials, and production SOPs. So the clients are advised not to keep the formulation guidelines merely on paper, computer files, or databases without practical validation. So the formulation must be tested by trained chemists, documented with observations, supported with photographs wherever possible. It can be done even through our Telegram also. And that should be frankly shared, openly shared with SciTech Labs for technical review. And here, after all, for your counseling or guidelines. So you had to get me the feedback of our trials. Now, let us discuss about the purpose of this document. So, the purpose of this SOP is to ensure that every formulation guidelines supplied by SciTech Labs is systematically evaluated in the R&D laboratory before pilot plant scale-up or commercial production. Kindly remember that whatever the formulations I am having, initially, these are all formulation guidelines only. You have to test it with appropriate procedure, that is a machinery setup and appropriate raw materials also. Because you know very well that the quality of the product depends on the raw material quality, the way you are processing, and how it is applied. All of them are important parameters. My important advisory to clients are engage approved and properly trained chemists for formulation trials. Because whenever you discuss with me, as a director, you are discussing with me, what is the use? You can just discuss with me some guidelines or some feedback, that's all. Do you mean to say that will be more than sufficient? No. So, always you should have some trained chemists. If you do not have the trained chemists, we will help you to get the chemists and we will help them in training. So do not proceed directly to production without laboratory validation. So always maintain some written records of raw material quality, process details, observations, and test results. Many of our clients are not properly maintaining these records. They simply tell me over phone or during the discussions. See, this kind of oral observations will not be useful for us to take any action. So, in that case, you have to get me the written document, a written record. So, we call it observation notebook. So, you must maintain the observations, and whether it is a successful one or failure one, both should be recorded. So kindly send test reports and feedback along with the photographs and practical difficulties that can be discussed during our meeting. So then only the meeting will be very powerful. Then always focus one product in 10 days. Don't complicate too many products. So that is why I would like to stress here to confine to only one product for 10 days. And if you want three products, it may take 30 days for us to completely analyze that particular one. And when we take all products together, we will get utter confusion. So preserve all trials records as part of the product technical dossier. And it would be very helpful for us, for both of us, to prepare a very good technical dossier. for each product. So let us have some formula trial SOP. So it has got almost 10 steps. So kindly follow all these 10 steps. Understand the product chemistry. Collect the raw materials. Test the raw materials. Conduct laboratory scale trial. Prepare the test report. Get the feedback. Proceed to costing. Then scale up to pilot plant. Standardize the production SOP. And finally, that is, you have to go through our disclaimer. Please read our disclaimer. Okay, right. Now, let us go one by one. How you can understand the product chemistry? You should know the chemistry of the product, its raw materials, manufacturing methods, and application process by attending our online classes or our e-learning classes like cover some training courses, then technical meetings with our SaitechLabs consultants. Collect the raw materials. So in that case, you have to collect all required raw materials. If approved vendors are not available, we are ready to develop suitable vendors or request Sci-Tech Labs for vendor development support. But there will be an additional charges for this because it takes more time for us. Then test raw materials. Test all raw materials before use. The final quality of the product depend on the strongly on the quality and the consistency of raw materials. Conduct the lab scale trial once the raw materials are up to the standard, when it meet the required standards. Then proceed with the laboratory scale trial under the supervision of an approved or properly trained chemist by SciTech Laboratory or SciTech Labs. So prepare test report. A detailed test report with batch size, raw materials, process conditions, observations, test results, photographs, and remarks. All these things can be shared through Telegram. So kindly share the report with SciTech Labs. Share samples with customers also once you are confident about the sample quality so that you can have two feedback. One feedback, technical feedback from SciTech Labs. Another is the practical performance feedback from the customer. So record all comments in writing. Then let us proceed to costing. If the trial results and feedback are satisfactory, then let us proceed to raw material costing, tracking cost estimation, and commercial feasibility analysis. Then let us proceed further to scale up to pilot plant. Scale up the formulation carefully to pilot plant level. Observe changes in mixing, dispersion, heating, cooling, viscosity, appearance, stability, and other application parameters. So standardize the production SOP after successful pilot plant validation and proceed with the controlled production only after the QC approval. So the last but the most important is all formulation trials must be carried out subject to the SciTech Labs formulation trial disclaimer. So kindly view this formulation trial disclaimer. I have clearly mentioned about these formulations are primitive only. So it has to be properly, that is customized based on your direct laboratory trials. Now you need to maintain the minimum records, formula reference number and date. Name the chemist who is conducting the trial. So raw material source and batch details, raw material test results, lab batch quantity and process details, in-process observations, final product test results, photographs of trial samples, applications or test results, consultant feedback, then get the customer feedback also, and finally take a decision. So if you need further improvement, go for repeat trial and modify the formula in consultation with the consultant. Then pilot scale up, or if it is not satisfactory, you have to better reject because we have some other technical problem in this case. So Let us not waste our time. And I would like to conclude here. All SciTech formulations guidelines become very useful when the clients actively conduct the laboratory trials, document the results, interact with the consultant, and standardize the formulation through scientific validation. So, consistent client support is essential to convert the formulation guidelines into the reliable product dossier and quality manual. So, in this regard, if you've got any doubts, you are always welcome to get your doubts clarified. Please contact my WhatsApp number or in Telegram. Fix up an appointment, then we'll discuss. Thank you very much.